Okay, Perkei Daled Mishnah Hey, or Mishnah Vav, depending on which edition you have. Says the Mishnah, Shmuel Omer Haloimid Al Manas L'Lamed. Okay, so this Mishnah is talking about the intentions the kavanah person has when he learns Torah. The Zok Rabbi Shmuel Haloimid Al Manas L'Lamed, someone who learns in order to teach. So Maspeaking Biyodai Lilmoid L'Lamed. So HaKadosh Baruch will make sure they'll have the opportunity to learn and to teach. But Haloimid Al Manas L'Asos, someone who learns Al Manas to keep the mitzvahs, to keep what he's learning. Speaking the other lilmoid l'lamed lishma v'lasos. So then the Kadosh Baruch will make sure that he can learn, he can teach, he'll be able to be sure the mitzvahs and be able to do the mitzvahs. So the Rabbeinu is bothered that someone who learns Torah, not amanas to keep the mitzvahs, for sure is not going to even be able to learn. So Pashup Shah the Mishnah, halom amanas l'lamed, and not lasos. Right? So a person's learning, it's intellectual. He's a professor at Columbia University, right? And he's learning Torah, and he's teaching Torah, but he has no intention to keep it. So he'll be maspeaking law. Kadosh Baruch Hu make sure that he learns and he teaches. But if you learn Amanas Lasis, then you also be able to do. Says Rabbeinu Yonah that can't be. He says Pirush Chas v'Shalom she'ein zeh medaber b'loimed Amanas l'lamed v'loy lasis. It's definitely not referring to a person who has no intention to keep the mitzvahs. Shezeh ein maspeaking b'yodah l'lmoid l'lamed. He gets nothing. Hashem will not even allow him to learn. Amanas Lasis iser v'heter kimal shemo. So what does the mission mean? Lo yitrach v'ya'ayin harbe. Ula yimtze iser b'dor mutar. A person who's learning, of course he's a frum yid, he wants to keep the mitzvahs, but he's not learning to the extent, b'iyun, that he'll figure out, oh, maybe there's something I was doing now that I thought was mutter, I see it's awesome. So he's not learning to get down to the bottom of the sugya to understand all the halachas, to know what he should be doing. But Vad, he's a frum yid who's learning Amanas Lasas. But it's not Amanas sheyitrach v'ayin harbe ula yimtze iser b'dvarim mutarim. Ach lekeach hadvarim kipshuton. He learns shitchi dik very superficially. Mipnei kach ein maspeaking biyodai ela kafi machshavta lilmod ulami. Therefore, he only will have the opportunity through his learning just to learn and to teach, but not to do. So in yeshivas, that's why we have an Iyun Seder and a Bekiyas Seder. Meaning, you have to learn Bekiyas. A person has to learn. Rabbi Chaim Soloveitchik says the definition of Bekiyas is you ask all the questions, but you don't answer them. In Iyun, you answer them. So of course you have to have a Bekiyas Seder because you can't learn proper Iyun unless you're holding in the Masechta. You're learning in Masechtas Gittin. It's very hard to start clearing Svaras and Avos. You have to really see the whole Masechta in order to appreciate any one particular part of the Masechta. But a person has to have some area of Torah where he's learning Be'iyun. He's learning Amanas Lasis. And the Chiddush of this mission is, at least according to Rabbeinu Yonah, that it's all the din in the Gav. In other words, my limitations in Talmud Torah that are really imposed on me to an extent from HaKadosh Baruch Hu all start for me. If my intention is to get to the bottom and to understand what Shabbos really well, so that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will allow me to do that. And if I feel that I'm not really getting down to the bottom, it's because I limited myself to a more superficial type of learning. So he does not mean over here that one should not learn Bikiyas. That's not what he's saying. He's just saying that a person has to have some Seder in Iyun when they're trying to get down to the bottom of the sugya of the halacha. But of course, the person learns not to do, so that Columbia professor will have nothing. Haloimet Amanas Lasos, my speaking to the Lilmod Lamed Lasos, what's lemon says Rabbeinu Yonah Shaddai to Lefalpo Belimud Kedei Ladas Amitas Advarim. He's trying to understand what the Gemara is saying, what the Rishonim are saying, in order to know what the emes is. His desire is to toil for a number of days or years. Lahasik davar katan. You ever see in Gemara that the Gemara is over a chiddush to us, like a pashta chiddush, and the other one says he chazed it 40 times till it was kamanach bekisa, until it was in his pocket. Or if I only came to hear that one chiddush, it would have been enough. He traveled months to hear one chiddush. Right? There was that student who traveled. They called him Rav Yonah. That he traveled 6 months to learn one day in yeshiva, to go back home, travel 6 months again. They used to make fun of him that he's the one day. So he's matriach himself even for a davar katan. That's what the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants to see, that we're willing to invest effort even for a quote unquote a small return. Obviously, it's a big return. So that's Amanas Lasis. Shekol Ikr Machshavtoi Ein Kim El Hamayis Liyos Amiti. He wants to make sure he's doing the right thing. As Rabbi Chaim Soloveitchik said, a person has to be able to learn one blot for 30 days and 30 blot in 1 day. That's what Chaim said. You have to do both. One blot in 30 days and 30 blot in 1 day. So sometimes different situations call for different types of limud. Lefichach maspikim b'yad little lamed v'lasas shakol b'chal ha'maisa. So Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to, if my kavanah is to understand it well, Kadosh Baruch Hu, the person might think to himself, if I'm going to learn every sugi b'iyun, so when am I ever going to finish Shas? When am I ever going to finish the Masech, finish the Perkei? I used to have this machlokes with my brother-in-law, Rabbi in Eretz Yisrael. He goes on Teres Moshe. Teres Moshe is notorious for going very slow. And he used to tell him, like, in the mirror, we went much faster. We did a blot a week in Shiur. He did a place of blot every 2 months in Shiur. He used to tell him, well, when are you going to cover ground? He said, no, you learn Be'iyim, and you learn, first of all, you learn other sugyas on this sugya. You learn every other sugya that's negated this sugya. And you'll see, by the end of the day, you'll know a lot. And the Taka, he's a big Talmud Chacham, and that Mahalach worked for him. So a person can't always think, when like make a cheshbon, I have to finish it this time, I finish it that time. You sit, you learn, and when you get sfeers in the sugya, you go weiter. And a person looks back after a while, and he sees Taka that he has a lot of knowledge in Torah. That is what Rabbi Shmuel is saying. Zogt the Mishnah weiter, Tzodek Omer, Al Ta'asem Al Torah Lizgadel Bahem. Don't make the Torah a crown to become chashuv, to grow through. In other words, the Torah can't be an ornament to beautify myself. It must be different. I saw this before. You hear that we had that before. I think earlier. So I'm not here. It doesn't bring it. Okay. It just starts Al Tasim Atar Lizgadol Bahem, V'lo Kardum Lachbor Bahem, or a spade to dig with. In other words, one should not use the Torah for like practical to keep the halacha and to understand God's word, but not to accomplish things in life. It should be used as a tool to get what he wants. Kach Haya Hillel on so Hillel would say, with the Shtamish Betaga, someone who uses the crown of Torah, Chalaf, is going to be finished. We're going to change him up. He's going to die. Halamanta, you learn from here, from Hillel, Kol Hanen B'divrei Torah, whoever derives benefit from Torah, Noitel Chayev Min Ha'olam. So he's taking his life from the world to come. So the whole tumult in Koil is very relevant, that it's usher to get paid to learn Torah. So when I went to the Koil in Melbourne, so there's a contract, right? So I was nervous, what's it going to say in the contract? Is it going to say that, for learning from 9 to 1, and then from 3 to 6, and then at night, so we'll pay you X amount of money? So no, it said, the Lashon was, I think, an appreciation for the Talmud Torah. I mean, they weren't paying us to learn. Right. It was more, one mahalach is schar batal. I mean, we want you to be here the whole day and not working, so we're paying you not to go and be an accountant. That's what we're paying you to do. The other way is to say, like they said, there was an appreciation. I'm not paying you for learning, but it's an appreciation for what you do. So you can't, it's halacha, one cannot take money for learning Torah.
Halacha is from here, this is in the Makar of the halacha? This doesn't seem to be from here, just that by kol hanene doesn't mean necessarily I can't get paid.
I think it's a Gemara in the Darim. It could be from Balach and the Drachav, ma'ani b'chinam, afatem b'chinam. It's the concept is over here, but the actual halacha, if you look at the Bir HaGra, and the Shulchan Aruch, it's probably going to be from that Gemara in the Darim, where Hashem teaches b'chinam. Hashem doesn't charge us to teach us, so too a person can't charge to teach Torah, to learn Torah. You can't charge for that. So says the Rabbeinu Yonah, Torah, don't use the Torah as a way to be miskabit. One should feel honored through the Torah. You should do that. Zulas michavin l'chavra Torah. The kavanah has to be, I want to learn Torah, I want to share Torah just for the sake of being mechabed the Torah itself. When a person gives cover to the Torah, the Torah gets covered. If the Chacham's kavanah, his intention is to give cover to the Torah and not for his own cover, then it's mutter to learn Torah. One should not receive financial benefit from learning Torah directly. We don't hana at all for the hana of Torah. Then the Rabbeinu Yonah goes on, brings a few maisim in Chazal and Shas, where you see that the Amarah and the Tanoim went to an extreme not to be nana from Torah. So it's fascinating maisim. One maisim is, listen to this, Reb Tarfin, shekaftu lashlicha benar. Right? Some bandits tied up Reb Tarfin, they're going to throw him into the river, they're going to drown him, Reb Tarfin, right? So we think that Amarah trying to sat in the base all day and learn, things happen, right? So, Kasum Shu listed. So they thought Rabbi was a Ganav. They thought he was a Ganav. They're doing a grace mitzvah.
Tarman was also attacked when he tried lying down in the bracha.
Right, he was the one who was taken like Beishama. And he almost got killed by the lister. Yeah. What did his friends tell him? should be killed because he didn't listen to Beis Hillel. They should have killed him.
The time of the reflect.
Yeah, it wasn't possible. I wonder if this was the mice. Maybe this is the mice. What did he say? Now, he knew that if he would say I'm a tarfin, they would stop in a second. But he held that's being neheneh from Torah. Because why would they stop? Because he's the God Lador. Why is he the God Lador? Because he knows Torah. That's called being neheneh from Torah. So what did he say? He just said oila tarfin shezeh horga. What was the tarfin that this person is killing? He just said his name. Came and Shiur by Shiur tarfin. He knew who. They saw Shiur tarfin. They let him go. Well, Baruch called and they ran, and everyone else ran away. He ran away. So the rest of his life, Tarfin felt bad. He was mitzvah. He thought that he lost his chelik in olam haba because they were going to drown him, and he said, so one has to be careful. You know, what's the reason? Taki was supposed to be killed. I mean, is that what was supposed to happen? The Rabbeinu says no. Reb Tarfon was a big usher, he was very wealthy. He should have said, I'll give you $10,000, give you $100,000, just leave me alone. He had another option. It says Rabbeinu, if he had no other option, that's not called being mishtamish in the Torah for your own personal gain, if they're going to kill the person otherwise. But I could have spent money. So instead of, rather than spending $10,000, he chose to use Torah. That's what he was upset about. Goes to Baba Basra, the same that should prove that he's very wealthy. Okay. He quotes another Gemara that says that it was a Shnas B'Tzoros. It was a famine year of famine. Rabbi Nasi opened up his oitzvus, he's very wealthy as well. This is one of Baba Basra Davches. And he said the Bali Mikra, the Bali Mishnah, the Bali Talmud should come in. All the Talmidei Chacham should come in and take money. The Amir Oretz Al Yikons. Zok Rabbi Nasi, the Amoratz and the ignorant Jews should not come in and take money. Comes with Yonah ben Amram, who was a Talmud of Rabbi, and he said, I guess Rabbi didn't recognize him. He said, Rabbi Parnaseini. He says, did you learn? This actually fits with the Gemara in Charidu we saw that Misha ben Avuya's daughter came to Rabbi Nasi, to Rabbi Parnaseini, to Bas Mi'at. So the Mepharshim say that he had a tzedakah fund for Talmidei Chacham. So you should remember my father's Torah. That's a question. Remember my father's Torah. Remember my father's Torah, not his meisim, and then the fire came down from Shemaim and singed his bench. He realized that he has to give him money. So either way, here also Rabbi Nasi is giving out money to the Talmidei Chachamim. So comes Yonah ben Amram, did not want to be nene from the Torah, so he said, please be mefarnes me. So he said, have you learned? No. Have you learned Gemara? No. Im kain hakim mefarnes you. So he said, Parnaseni ke kelem u'ka'orev. Give me parnas like a dog, like a raven, like an animal. Also, you have to give. So I'm an animal. So give me parnas like an animal. He gave him parnasa, and then Rabbi was upset. I gave money to an Amar. He's all upset about that. So Reb Shimon, his son, Rabbi Nasi's son, said to him, "Shema Yonah ben Amram Talmidchahu." I guess they schmecked that maybe it was his Talmud who didn't want to be nene from the Torah, and they realized it was. He said, "Fine, you know what? Everyone could come take money now," because he realized that he's preventing something with Yachamim from coming in. The Rabbeinu says that this Yonah ben Amram, again, it was the thin Meshura Sadid, it was beyond the letter of the law. If a person's going to die, he can use his stature to keep himself alive. But he was going the thin Meshura Sadid, did not want to benefit at all from his Torah. So that's what Rabbeinu is driving home with these few Maisalach, the importance of not being neheneh from one stature in Torah, and realizing the Torah is just for the cover of Torah. If a person's machab the Torah, he ends up becoming mechubed, as we'll see next week in the next Mishnah.